today are really livered. And it is because that the people did not choose them or vote them in. These are people that forced themselves into, but the people that the caliphate imposed on us. And because they were imposed on us, they do anything they like. All they do is to push propaganda, push blackmail, demonize us, call us different kinds of names, stay in the forefront of accusation. They are the one that accuse us first. They push narrative against their own people. It is sad. Very, very sad. But we must not give up. And we will never forget. For every crime they are committing today, we will never, ever forget. I want us to hear this report also from Harrison before we go into their media full. I want you to pay attention to the revelation that Harrison made on the accusation, false accusation against the Biafran people.
So this video is going to be with Igbo language, all right? So if you don't understand it, please don't feel offended. Just find somebody that can interpret it to you.
I want you to pay attention. Hold on. Let me bring up the video because it is necessary. Listen to it. There have been a lot of blackmail, a whole lot of blackmail against us. There have been so much blackmail led by the politicians of Igbo extraction and some other disgruntled people. Every time they accuse the IPOB of wanting, that was how they accused Mazi Simon Ekpa. Every single day we were accusing, and Nigeria took those false accusations and the false flag presented to Finland, and Finland are acting on false information that made it to detain Mazi Simon Ekpa today. Look at Harrison. He's in the forefront and the feed. I want you to listen to what Harrison had to say. This report that he brought. Let us pay attention.
Harrison. So this video is going to be with Igbo language, all right? So if you don't understand it, please don't feel offended. Just find something that can interpret it to you. And I'm not good in speaking language very, very well. So those people who I'm talking to will understand me better, all right? Especially people from the southeast region, Imo State particular, Imo State. Last week, I got Imo State, and in that process, support for military, local vigilante, homeland security, I rescue 3 kidnapped people, their victims, were here. So, India, Abolofa from their community. This man got for like almost 1 weekend on our dead. Then, this other man now, from video yesterday online, this other man, Mr. Bunyema, is lecturer at Imo State University. So I want to get Atomka water something. Now, this kidnapping and make it I pull on the buying in me. I can start anywhere and say it. All these strangers here, you don't know fear, you don't know but they made this thing. All on you buying the main car. They have evidence that pull on the buying in there. Now this lecturer now he kidnapped this man. They kidnapped him, yeah. All of with these 3 people, these 3 other people, they kidnapped. Yeah, we were together. But now on your abuse away because now somehow we for ransom, they go in there, water. So all Mr. Nyema, I have to name popular known as Ganja, all physics lecturer, on a physics practical. Now Imo State University. So if you want to verify, God wire, see ndị akpọrọ gị na gị na-agba moto gị onye ebe ọbụla ndị be anyị all you. So this is evidence that na ndị anọgo na these communities now they terrorize. They have been terrorizing since last year. Later I sent them from Amako UP. Last year November, they invited me to assist them, place with a little bit of support and the rest of them. Well, I got on because of Nsogumwe last year, November to December. I got on. Do you understand? So, Ndia Apollo the ban in the main car. I'm asking the ban in your job. Manandia the main car for strangers that we need to flush out immediately before they they multiply and spread to other communities. Igana na Amaka UP to try on the way. Igana map, the same thing. Our community, the same thing. Or Ejimekuru, the same thing. So onye kasigi na cow on the buying area on our tuasi. They are sponsored to continue on the trend, on the narrative.
Exactly.
That money buy when they make all these things.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
When
You know that.
in some cases, I can find them. When I can't make that, both na decade, I'm Jimekuru, our Amako UP, Ireti, Amako, didn't make her block on the buy security. The forests are surrounded. This is something that is real, is happening.
I hope you heard it. That is the report from Harrison. Every one of you know Harrison. He's always in the front line. He has rescued so many people, even when they try to blackmail him. And he's saying it the way it is. They just want to maintain the narrative that our people are troublemakers. They want to maintain the narrative that we are the ones causing problems. They just want to maintain the narrative that we are troublemakers. That's all it's all about. But in the actual sense, everybody knows that we are innocent. They know we're innocent. But for one reason or the other, they continue to maintain that lie. They just want to keep that lie going. They want to keep that misinformation going. But by the special grace of Chukwu, we shall overcome all their evil plan. We will never back down. We will never, ever back down. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But we continue to see it the way it is. So, my fellow Biafrans, the war we are fighting is not an easy war. We have a very difficult task ahead of us. And all hands must be on deck. All hands must be on deck. Don't sleep. Onye lara ụla eburu egbe ya. Onye nwa lara ụla eburu egbe ya. That is just it. So you must be awake at all times. You must continue to pay attention and be smart. Don't say you are not warned. Don't say you are not told. They are not going to stop. If you are dreaming that one day they will stop and all things will become well, they will never stop. These people will not stop. They will not stop. The earlier you stand up, sit up, and do what you have to do, the better for all of us. You think they will stop? They will never, ever stop. So wherever you are, you must continue to do your little best. Be very, very careful. Be security conscious at all times if you are in Biafra land. More especially for our young youths. You must be security conscious at all times. Very, very. You must be security conscious. If you are not, I don't know what is going to happen. As we are approaching the 30th May, they are going to try to unleash their mayhem. As we are going to 30th May, they will upgrade in this their attack. They will upgrade in their strategy. They will upgrade in their blackmail against us. Don't think they are going to stop. They will not stop. They will not stop. As we are going forward, they will be upgraded. That is why we must have to be very careful. We must be very careful at all times. We must be very careful. Because they will not stop. If you think they will stop, they will not stop. The only thing we have to do is to be very careful and mindful at all times. No matter their strategy, no matter their level, no matter where they come from, you must be very careful where you go, what you do at every given point in time. My fellow Biafrans, now let us go to their media. Let us go to Nigerian media and see what is happening. You know, that is what we do every evening. We bring you update from their own media for you to see the evil is happening. So that it wouldn't be that we are just making up issues. It will not be like we just come and we are putting information that are not obtainable. So let's pay attention and listen to what they have in their media for you to understand the level of insecurity you have in the Zoological Republic. Let's go.
Kebbi midnight attack, where 13 people were snatched from their homes at 1 a.m. by terrorists. And then at number 2, we have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying he's lost sleep and weight over economic reforms. And at number 3, we have Vice President Kashim Shettima's old 2012 video resurfacing where he's seen weeping over insecurity under Jonathan. Now, here is where you come in. Join the conversation. Use the hashtag What's Trending with Ojiokwe. Comment on our live feed. And of course, Leke. Tell me, which of these stories matter to you most? And what should Nigeria be paying attention to? Because for the next hour, we're going into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, let's take you around the world. From Trump honoring fallen heroes to the Pope's apology for slavery. Here's a recap of some of the stories that are trending across the globe. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria is sounding the alarm, staging a 3-day national fasting and prayer program against the country's spiraling insecurity. Speaking in Ibadan, PFN National President Bishop Francis Wale Oke declared the nation's security situation has reached intolerable levels. The fellowship lamented.
This is the madness that we are talking about. This is one of those madness we talk about. Prayer and fasting cannot solve the problem you have in Nigeria. The problem is clear. Chukwu Okike Abiyama have already given us the solution. God has given you the brain, the knowledge, the wisdom, the equipment to secure yourself and stop the insecurity. And instead of doing it, you are leaving the responsibility to God. Something you need to do, you're leaving to God. This is what I don't understand. That the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria think that they can solve the problem. You have seen people being kidnapped inside the church. Do you think that God didn't see them? Or you think that God didn't hear their prayers? You think that those ones who were kidnapped in their church, that they are so sinful that God cannot answer them? It is a shame. And it is people like Adeboye that is pushing this nonsense. Meanwhile, they can speak to the president to do the right thing, but they will not do that. Instead, they opt for prayer and fasting to deceive people. It's a shame. Very big shame. Very, very big shame. They should be ashamed of themselves.
That communities in Oyo, Kwara, Taraba, Plateau, Benue, and Borno have become killing fields and is now demanding urgent international intervention. The race to 2027 is hitting off as Atiku Abubakar and Rotimi Amechi participated in the ABC presidential primaries on Monday. Voting was held across over 8,000 wards using the option A method. Atiku cast his vote in Yola, Adamawa State, while Amechi voted in Ubima, River State. The ABC is positioning itself to challenge the ruling APC's dominance in 2027. A major drug bust at Lagos Airport has landed a 63-year-old Chinese national in custody. NDLEA operatives intercepted Ting Kyung upon her arrival from Thailand with 31 kilograms of Canadian loud, a high-grade strain of cannabis, stashed in her luggage. The agency also recently seized over 2 million tablets of high-grade opioids worth over 2 billion naira nationwide. In a historic shift, Pope Leo XIV has issued the clearest papal apology yet from the Catholic Church's role in slavery. In his debut encyclical Magnificat Humanitas, the Pope acknowledged the Vatican's shameful history and officially asked for pardon, marking a massive departure from past statements that shift blame away from the papacy itself. In the United States, President Donald Trump marked Memorial Day with a solemn tribute at Arlington National Cemetery, honoring the generations of Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice for liberty. Standing before Gold Star families and military leadership, the president hailed fallen soldiers as the guardian angels of the Republic. As taps echoed across the grounds, Trump pledged that the torch of American liberty will never be allowed to fall. From honoring fallen heroes to defending American interests, the U.S. military on Monday announced that it conducted new self-defense strikes in southern Iran, targeting missile sites and boats attempting to place mines. The announcement came in a statement from Captain Tim Hawkins, spokesman for Central Command. Iran has yet to respond to this latest attack, and it comes as the Iranian Foreign Ministry had earlier on Monday said progress was being made in talks to end the war, but that deal was not yet imminent. Correct. I mean, good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Vimba, our favorite Nigerian. Good morning, Rufy on fire. Yes, that was the Trump dance we had yesterday. It was the YMCA. But you know, the US has launched this strike now and, you know, shaking the world at this point. Well, all right. We have taken you around the world. Now let's bring it home with politics. APC National Chairman, Professor Nnamdi is making a bold claim, speaking during an interview right here on Arise News. Yilwata declared that the ruling APC currently has 12.9 million registered members submitted to INEC, a figure he says surpasses the combined membership of every other registered political party in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
We have about 12.9 million registered voters, right, that will submit INEC. Let me give you data. Let me bring the data for you. AP submitted 12.9 million registered voters. PDP submitted 2.4 million registered voters. The ADC submitted 1.6 million registered voters. Labour Party submitted 1.3 million registered voters. NDC submitted 700,000 registered members and members. So these are data. If you put all political parties together, they don't add up to APC's registered members. All the political parties that this number have counted, that are up to the number that APC registered.
Rufai, bold words from the chairman's claims, and you know they're drawing scrutiny given the irregular vote counting videos that have surfaced during the party's primaries. Now, his critics also point to his background as former INEC resident electoral commissioner, raising questions about the independence of Nigeria's electoral process ahead of 2027. Rufai, your take on the story.
And we should ask, when did he join the APC and when was he working in INEC? That's another question we should also ask. See, like I said before, all these numbers, or yes, some people can come and debunk and say, oh, it was just mischievous video that we're sharing and all of that. See, those numbers are not forensically evaluated. It's not by submitting 12 or something billion. If I run it through a forensic evaluation test, will you be able to pass scrutiny of correct mean and all the identification thresholds? If you want, INEC should try it. INEC should try it. That's what we are saying. So plus even the NDC say they got over 10 million plus this and everything. And what do you expect, for an APT chairman to say? He will say that everything was good. He will say everything was right. He will say that over close to 90% of people came out to vote in a party primaries. Did all of them present their party cards for the voting? Did we see most of them on the voting? They present their party cards for the voting, maybe except one or two cases. Like you said, that they present their party card. Can they show us, anyway, they just counted. Can they show us a system that verifies the counting? Who was the peer review to verify? It's not here we're saying 1, 2, 50, 100. The same APC that said he has a lot of scrutiny, is it not the same system that we saw that a 15-year-old boy almost, he was endorsed, we saw picture with him with Senate President, we saw picture with all
almost everyone,
almost gave the system. And I'd like to apologize this morning to Senator Ekpa that led the, what is it called, something that was asking him that, how many siblings do you have? And then I was being harsh on that woman, not knowing that that woman was correct. Oji, if not for People's Gazette that saved us, that did investigative journalism job, that actually brought out that the guy is 50, he fooled all of us, including me. I was like, where is their scrutiny level as regards that? And see, for those that are pushing the narrative, Oji, that because President Tinubu got 11 million in this party, he already has everything, they should stop that narrative because the pretext original. Now they will now say, hey, he has already has 11 million votes in this shambolic process that is not peer reviewed and peer verified. With all this irregular, they say he has already has 11 million votes. They should not try it to. We are warning them now because we've started seeing them pushing the narrative. Not try and move, but well.
Well, speaking about irregular vote count, there's been a response to the irregular vote counting video we saw during the APC House of Representatives primary for Bende Federal Constituency in Abia State, where Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kanu emerged unopposed in a now trending video. John Okezim, who was the returning officer for Bende Ward during the primary, described the irregular vote counting footage as adulterated and deliberately spread by enemies of the APC to discredit the process. Let's take a look.
I have seen several versions of adulterated videos spread by enemies of APC, the Deputy Speaker, and my humble self. The question I ask is, to what benefit is it to edit video and make it look like numbers we are judged, when the other candidate against the president had no single person behind him? The public should disregard such video, manipulated videos circulating around, as it is not a true reflection of my country. Those publishing it should stop to avoid legal action, because I have briefed my lawyers over this presentation. Abia is APC. Bende is APC. We don't need to jump counting to make that point. The picture of those behind the picture of the president says that clearly, and the agent of the opponent to Mr. President, who was in attendance, never complained. The public should regard this usual campaign against APC and the leadership of APC.
All right, look at that. The opposition never complained. Now, this officer is saying the primary was conducted transparently, but we saw the viral video. It is now left to the court of public opinion to decide whether this verbal denial alone is sufficient. Dr. Bati, Benjamin Kanu emerged unopposed across all 13 wards, with delegates unanimously endorsing his candidacy. Now, only time will tell whether this process was transparent. Your thoughts?
Okay, my main argument, articulated as well, is that when we were told, oh, this is the Electoral Act 2026, and that, the objective is to address some omissions, some observations from previous elections. The whole idea was that, we'll have a better process in the next elections, 2027 by-elections before 2027. But what we have seen is that even the Electoral Act 2026 itself is problematic. And that immediately after that 2027 election, even now, people are already saying there is need for more reform, because whatever electoral reform we have done has not yielded any result. And we've seen the proof, more or less, in the primaries processes. What is it that was done before that we have not seen? Vote counting, disagreement over mode of election, verification of candidacy and membership problematic, so a whole new set of problems. So perhaps the problem is not even the law. A good law, any kind of law, does not guarantee that an election will be transparent, or it will be there will be accountability, or that it will be credible. So vote count. I think what we should be asking for is that when it gets to the level of INEC, you can put whatever number you like within your party. At the end of the day, so it's the internal affairs of the party. After all, one party said it would rather announce final results in Abuja and not at the polling booth. But what we expect from INEC is to make sure to draw lessons from what the parties themselves are doing. The same parties that say they have internal democracy. We have not seen the evidence of that internal democracy. We have not seen clear evidence of accountability. And it's not just one party, even if we say it is APC. Even in the ADC process that is going on, they do not seem to know how to count 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Which is also a comment on the quality of education or the character. Let's stay with character, because arithmetic is easy. 1, 2, 3. If you are not blind, you should be able to count 1 to 50 or to whatever. But they can't even do that. Yes. So it's also about the character of a Nigerian politician. But INEC cannot afford to make that kind of mistake during the election. INEC must farm up its processes. It must strengthen its institutions. It must make sure that its numerous ad hoc staff are properly trained so as to ensure the integrity of the electoral process.
All right. Now, Vimbai, we are also seeing more irregular vote counting videos like we saw with the APC, but this time it's the ADC. The African Democratic Congress presidential primary is in full swing, with a new video sparking controversy on social media, showing the same practice of irregular vote counting previously observed during the APC primary. Now, in a video from Kara Primary School in Yobe State on Monday, an official is seen counting voters as they line up at polling unit. He counts 3, 4, 5 before suddenly jumping to 20 Vimbai. Can you imagine? Let's go look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, He's even skipping. I mean, this video has generated reactions online, with some Nigerians stating that the precedent set by APC is gradually becoming a norm in other parties. But here's what's also worth noting. Not one person standing in line called out the official, not one, which raises questions. Are voters intimidated? Are they complicit? Or have Nigerians just accepted that this is how elections work? Meanwhile, actor Yul Odoche has called into question Nigeria Democratic Congress candidate Peter Obi's chances of winning in 2027, instead stating that his chances of being president are in 2031 after President Tinubu. Odoche made these comments while speaking on a new episode of Honest Bunch podcast released on Monday. Let's take a look.
Okay, very good question. So we can president. Peter's mantle is an anger. It's not in this. It's not in this. It's an anger. He also swore before Ojumo, great Ojumo, that held his hand and told the Anambra people that this is his candidate. Everybody swore before him that he will never leave. That's why since he left, he hasn't achieved anything politically.
All right, this is the voice of some people. I mean, everyone has their opinion whether or not who will become president or not. But at the end of the day, it's the Nigerian people that will decide. And then, like I asked the question, are these voters complicit? What is going on? Why are we not seeing people screaming, "Oga, you did not count well. Count me, oh," your thoughts, or you have skipped me.
I want to quote Mr. Adebayo Adewale, who was here earlier, who said it seems that option A4 has been turned into option A fraud, because option A4 was one of those landmark sort of, should I say, reforms when it came to the June 12th election that many lauded and said gave credibility and credence to that election. It was something that was celebrated because it allowed people to come out and express themselves, and it was a departure from ballot stuffing and all the other antics we used to see happening in elections. But we're now seeing how this open ballot system can also be weaponized. There's some analysts who said that this election will be the most monetized election in the history of Nigerian elections. And, without sort of supporting evidence, it seems that drawing from inference, you can see that there is a degree of transaction happening here. You can see that given the nature of the politics and also given the nature of our economy at the moment, that if there's a transaction available for me to stand in a line with the membership card and be counted so that I can go home with whatever the going rate is, then it's highly possible. Because why else would you not want the process to be credible? Why else would you not be there defending the process? So in that instance, I think that this open ballot system has also added to some of the numbers that we're seeing, the inflated numbers, because we know that some people in their communities are also scared. You have to come out and be counted because you don't know if there'll be consequences for not being counted. There's rice being shared or there are things being shared, so you want to make sure your face is there, and you don't want to cause rancor, so that whatever goodies are awaiting you afterwards don't pass your house. So you want to make sure your house is a beneficiary. So this is the downside of this open ballot system. Now, very quickly on to Peter Obi, and there was a swearing and an oath that was made and so forth. Like you said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, just as Peter Obi is entitled to change his mind and to do what he feels is the right thing, whether it means moving from this party or that, and doing what he thinks is in the best interest of his ambition and the overarching ambition, vision for what he feels is best for Nigeria. We're all entitled to run our commentary on the side, and we'll see a lot of commentary coming out. I'll use Dr. Abati say some of it roadside and some of it deeply intellectual and revealing.
Yeah, the roadside, welcome as well.
What goes.
Nigeria decides. Now let's talk about insecurity. In Kebbi State, residents in Tangaram village, in the Danko Wasagu local government area of the state, are reeling from a terrifying midnight attack where terrorists abducted 13 people early on Sunday morning, according to eyewitnesses. The attackers arrived around 1 a.m. on motorcycles, firing sporadically into the air, breaking into people's homes before kidnapping over a dozen victims and moving them towards the Zamfara border. The state police on Monday confirmed the abduction, with the command spokesman stating that every individual abducted was an adult male. It appears to be some sort of indoctrination as we speak. We are also learning that police tactical teams, in collaboration with vigilante groups and other security agencies, have intensified coordinated rescue operations along border communities linking Kebbi and Zamfara states. All 13 victims remain in captivity. I mean, this is terrifying to think, that innocent people that were sleeping in their homes, terrorists barged in to kidnap them. Now, these communities have suffered repeated attacks due to their proximity to forest corridors linking Kebbi, Zamfara, and Niger states. Residents say recurring attacks in the Danko Wusagu communities have led to several abductions in recent months, with some victims reportedly released after payment of ransom running into millions of naira. I mean, this is like, a coordinated attempt to get these people for, I believe, is definitely, a business and an indoctrination. Go ahead.
And in the same country, because the government has failed to provide security, people speaking for President Tinubu, Chief Oshaba, said that he's the enemies of President Tinubu, that because he removes fuel subsidy, that they are the ones causing all of this insecurity. Or you just imagine, how can a government fail so much and they start to abdicate responsibilities and they think we should look at them in better state? That video you brought forward about the Vice President Kashim Shettima, that he was weeping during that time. Oji, the question is, why is he not weeping today? As his security not tripled.
Yes.
Oji, Children's Day. Children used to sing this song. Michael Jackson, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people that if you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Children's Day, Nigerian kids and their teacher that was just recently beheaded will be spending in kidnappers' captivity in Oyo. Nothing has been done. Oji is going to 2 weeks now. Oji, the family of that people, that man that was beheaded, they said he was writing a letter to say at least give us the body to be able to bury. We don't even know if they have collected the bodies back. They did a funeral. They did a funeral. No, the funeral you are talking about, Vibai. You know when people first came to attack, they shot sporadically, they killed the 49-year-old teacher. Okay, that's the one. That's the one they buried on Friday.
No, you're talking about the man that was beheaded.
No, so they had killed people even before they took people to captivity.
Okay, correct, yes.
All right, tomorrow is Children's Day. Can we allow children to leave captivity? Can the government at least bring our children back home from captivity for them to celebrate Children's Day? They are children. They should not be in the bush or forest. They are not there in excursion. They are there held against their will. Well, happy Children's Day.
That was heartbreaking. Meanwhile, in Kwara State, the police have confirmed the violent killing of 3 worshippers and the kidnapping of 15 others after a deadly attack during a Saturday prayer service in the Ekiti local government area of the state. The incident occurred on Saturday night at Orioke Ajayi, located on the outskirts of Ikiran village, where armed men stormed a prayer ground. Around 8:30 p.m., the pastor of the church, Pastor Adebayo Abiodun, reported that while conducting a night vigil with members of his congregation, armed hoodlums invaded the prayer ground, firing sporadically, killing 3 persons and abducting 15 others to an unknown destination. Well, the Commissioner of Police in Kwara described the attack as barbaric, callous, and unacceptable, assuring the families of the deceased, the injured, and the abducted victims that the command is fully committed to ensuring the rescue of all victims and apprehension of perpetrators behind this heinous crime. And, this is the terrifying pattern that I am talking about, Dr. Abati. And this is only coming because we believe last November, the terrorists attacked Christ Apostolic Church in the same local government area, killing 3 and abducting 38 people before they were rescued. Now, I believe you remember this story, Dr. Abati. Now, the Ekiti local government chairman has ordered the indefinite suspension of night vigils in worship centers located in rural communities. Religious organizations in isolated locations have been directed to relocate services to community centers within towns and villages. Now, Nigerians can't even pray in peace anymore. Before I come to you, Dr. Abati, in a more positive update, the Ondo State Police Command and hunters have successfully rescued 12 people who were abducted in the Akoko East local government area of the state while traveling in commercial buses early Saturday morning. The 2 Hummer buses were en route from Benue State to Ibadan when they were intercepted by armed kidnappers around 1:30 a.m. at Iswa Akoko. Police say the attackers forced passengers out before marching them into a nearby forest. Security officials then combed through the forest using intelligence-led surveillance and rescued the 12 people alive. They've been taken to the hospital with arrangements being made to reunite them with their families. I mean, I'd like for you to tie in both stories. We're seeing this pattern more often now. I mean, people are saying it's becoming worse by the day, Dr. Abbas, even given all the intelligence that we have. It's also good to see that the communities are collaborating with the police to help rescue our Nigerians that have been held in captivity.
Well, the stories speak for themselves, clearly.
Yes.
Insecurity remains a major problem. Despite protestations to the contrary, that the government is putting its best efforts in, and despite the claims by the security agencies, whether it's the police or the military, that they are also trying their best. Obviously, that best is not good enough for as long as people cannot travel from one part of the country to the other without being attacked or abducted, to the extent that now it's become an offense, to even pray in the evenings, and the irony, the Kuala prayer ground that you refer to is called Orioke Ajayi.
Meaning?
It means, a prayer mountain where you gain survival.
Wow.
The
irony.
Victory,
Wow.
Victory Mountain, something like that. And yet they went there to pray, and the kidnappers, terrorists, attackers cynically converted the title of that prayer mountain to its opposite and took them away. That should not be the case anywhere in the country. Look at the number of states you have mentioned in the last few days, from Borno to Oyo to Kwara to Kebbi. So apparently nowhere is safe, and it's most unfortunate. But again, it's another wake-up call for the state authority to ensure that the obligation to see to the safety and welfare of the people is one that is met, not through press statements. I don't know whether Mr. Ononuga has issued a statement on this.
I haven't seen it.
They're not true statements, not true rhetoric. They're through actual, safety, guaranteed for the people.
Well, still on insecurity, Vimbai. Now to a disturbing new video, which has gone viral. A Borno State indigene and internally displaced person, Enoch Yohana, has raised alarm about what he calls the business of terrorism in Nigeria. Yohana, who is the community liaison officer for the NGO Africa Arise, made the shocking allegation during a public event about rehabilitated insurgents. He claimed that after terrorists complete government rehabilitation programs, state governments, including Borno and Zamfara, provide them with monthly salaries ranging from 50,000 naira to 70,000 naira, plus one-off payments up to 3 million naira. Yohana, whose father was killed by insurgent, named a man called Adamu, who he says slaughtered 96 people in one day. And today, he drives a Hilux vehicle, courtesy of the Nigerian government. Let's take a look.
So the stay here 1 month and go. If you give small number 2 months, if you give maybe 6 months, which type of ammunition that you use, then that's the people that they are going to pay a pay off of 3 million. And monthly salary of 50,000. It has been so big that the killer of my dad is being paid in taxpayers' money. The abortos of our women, our children, our sisters are being paid off by the taxpayers' money. They drive luxury car with escort. There is one man that slaughtered 96 people a day. Now he's driving with Hilux. His name is Adamu. I'm saying this, I don't care. I don't care. I'm ready to die.
All right. The Nigerian government has not publicly responded to these allegations. But Yohana is asking the question many Nigerians are asking. Why are victims left to suffer while perpetrators get salaries? Why are families still displaced while terrorists drive Hilux vehicles? Is this reintegration? Or is this incentivizing terrorism? And that's the right question, Vimbai. We've highlighted these insecurity stories across the states. Even only yesterday, I believe Daily Trust is also reporting that bandits attacked the emir's palace. I mean, if you see that they are, encouraging, because this is what I call encouragement, encouraging terrorists, why wouldn't they act? Your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's quite a complex issue because, we've interviewed quite a number of representatives from the army on this Operation Safe Corridor, which is the